Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We just learned from our bar mitzvah about the importance of song and why Moshe uses song as his final words. Midrash teaches us that there are actually 10 songs throughout Tanakh, throughout the Hebrew Bible, this being the fourth. The first, interestingly, because it's Midrash and the rabbis sometimes make up their rules, is the psalm for Shabbat that Adam and Eve recited on the sixth day, on the eve of that very first Shabbat. But the idea is that these songs that we find throughout the Tanakh are at pivotal moments, right? We find it as the Israelites cross that split sea from slavery into freedom. We find it as Deborah recites her song and longing for this war and those returning from war to come home. And we find it here as Moses is towards the end of his life. We find it right in Haftorah as David is preparing for the end of his. And we understand that this song that Moshe recites, not just for the Israelites to remember, has special significance because there's a little bit of chutzpah in what Moshe is doing. It begins, Haazinu hashamayim v'adabera v'tishma aretz imrei fi. That Moshe is not just speaking to the people of Israel. He's asking the heavens and the earth to listen up. And there's a midrash that suggests that the angels are taken aback initially. Who is this guy to think that his words are so important that God and God's celestial beings should also hear what Moshe has to say? But just as we said on Kol Nidrei nights, we say the Shiva Shel Mala and the Shiva Shel Mata, that we turn equally to the heavens and the earth, to those who roam in the heavens and to all of us roaming on this earth. So too Moshe is turning to God and turning to humanity. Because as the song concludes, Moshe says, Ki lo davar reik hu. Right? That this is not an empty thing that I'm telling you. This is not trifling. The translation says, Ki hu chayechem. That what I am telling you is your very life, is the essence of your life. So what is Moshe really saying? I would suggest it doesn't matter. We could talk about how Moshe says God is all loving and God is kind and the Israelites are going to reject God and they'll be punished and then they'll be forgiven and rise up. It's sort of like these 7 weeks that we've experienced from Tisha B'Av until the high holidays of hitting rock bottom and rising up again to the highest of highs. But what is Chayechem? What is Moshe saying that this is the essence of your life? It is the act of singing itself. There's for those who joined us for the high holidays here at Bethel, there's that piyut, that earworm that keeps and I found myself, sometimes with others, sometimes by myself, jumping and clapping and dancing on the bima because there's just so much joy I find with that melody and so much kavannah, so much intention. And we see ourselves on this very first Shabbat after the high holidays, this very first Shabbat after Yom Kippur, and we're left, what are we supposed to do now in this new year? Right? So our bar mitzvah takes a very good step. He calls to the Torah, he chants Torah, he teaches us Torah, perfect way to begin this new year. But I would argue what we're really supposed to do and what Moshe is saying when Moshe says, Ki hu hayechem, that this is your life, is we're supposed to take that kavannah, we're supposed to take that ruach, that intention with us. It's not just that melody helps us remember, but melody carries us throughout our lives, through all different emotions. We use melody to emphasize joy, and we use different melody to emphasize sorrow. We use melody to emphasize the moment that we're in. There's certain melodies that you think of when somebody's walking down the aisle or when a graduate is about to get their diploma. There are certain melodies that we think of when we are in mourning and we hear the cadence of the El Malei Rachamim or the Mourner's Kaddish. And there are certain melodies we think of when a child is born or when a birthday is celebrated. That melodies carry us through each and every stage of our life. And so as Moshe is ending his life, He's focused on melody not for himself, not to carry him through his life, but he's focused on telling the Israelites to carry melody with them as well. And so that is my hope and prayer for all of us, that whatever the melodies are, whatever the earworms are that cause us to clap and jump, whatever, it's not about how musically talented you are, trust me. Not all of us are drummers, not all of us play guitar, not all of us have the voice to be the donkey in the Shrek musical. But we all have the kavannah, the opportunity, the ruach, the intention to have those melodies carry with us. May those melodies carry us into this new year and onward.